In the previous video, we have been introduced with the loops and also the explanation of for loop. In this video we will talk about part 2 of for loop, while loop. In the previous example of for loop, I have declared the variable j, which is used for iteration, above the for loop. But there is also another way. We have the liberty of declaring the same variable inside the parenthesis. Like in this example. A very important point to note is that the scope of the variable. The scope is only within the loop and it is not visible outside the loop. Normally, in C++, this approach is used, and if you did this in C language, error occurs. Let's see another type of approach. We can also use multiple variables in the first expression, like in this example. There may arise a case in which you may need to use two for loops. In such case, this type of approach can be used. But note that the second expression always needs single condition. Because it does not make sense, right, using more than one condition in the second expression. What if one condition satisfies, but not the other? For that purpose, only one condition is used. Third expression allows multiple variables to increment. See, the above two methods of for loop are all practiced only to make your code look simpler and cleaner. Though these practices are all optional, using them is recommended. The for loop does something a fixed number of the times. What happens if you don't know how many times you want to do something before you start the loop? In this case, a different kind of loop may be used, which is the while loop. The while loop looks like a simplified version of the for loop. It contains a test expression but no initialization or increment expressions. Whatever you give inside the parenthesis, it will evaluate it, and it will be checked whether the result is true or false, or in other terms either 0 or 1. So, the parenthesis requires a condition. In this example, I have initialized the variable n equals 99 outside the while loop. It is compulsory, if you are using the variable inside the parenthesis, declaring inside the parenthesis is not correct. Because, for loop, has separate places for declaration, for increment, for condition. So that's the reason. Next, for incrementing the variable, you have to do explicitly inside the loop. In this example, n++ increments the variable. So, when the value of n reaches 16, the condition fails and the loop breaks. Take a look at the following examples. In this first one, condition does not fails, because the value is not 0. But not the second one, the condition fails always, so the compiler never executes anything inside the loop anytime. The others also evaluates to true. See, it is all about whether the value is 1 or 0. Take a look at the penultimate example. We only know that the cout statement executes. Since it does not return 0, the condition satisfies, but it would return anything. See the last example. We are assigning 0 to n, but the return value will not be 0, so the condition satisfies.